Hi, this is James Sedley. Welcome back to the Living in Savannah channel. A couple of real estate headlines screamed at me late this week, and I wanted to share some of the takeaways from them as well as my perspective on what they mean for the landings real estate market. The first of these, accept it, higher mortgage rates here to stay. And the second was sales prices top list prices, first time in a year. Those headlines were the ones on the articles I want to talk about today, but before delving into the details, beyond this possibly counterintuitive pairing of articles, let me take a moment to thank you for continuing to like, subscribe, and share. Please don't stop. I appreciate it very much, and we'll hope to continue to bring you some content that you can use as you think about your particular real estate wants and needs. With that said, let's jump right in and start talking about that first article about mortgage rates. In a nutshell, this article strongly advised that mortgage rates below 5% are unlikely to be a future reality anytime for the foreseeable future. While that was the norm from the throes of the housing crisis in early 2011 through all of last spring, or most of last spring, experts ranging from Fannie Mae to the Mortgage Brokers Association to the National Association of Realtors and Realtor.com, as well as Zillow, all expect rates to gradually decline from the current high sixes to around 6% flat sometime in 2024. But even the most optimistic of these out-year forecasts aren't predicting dips far under 5% in the next 18 months or so. Given that the median 30-year rate since the early 90s has been 5.77%, it's probably safest for you to plug 6% into your budgeting models when deciding whether to buy or sell, and then you can be pleasantly surprised if rates dip far below that threshold. So what's this mean for you if you're trying to time the purchase of the hypothetical median landings home? From my last market update video, shameless plug number one today, that hypothetical home sold for just about $875,000 in June. So let's use that as our selling price and assume a 20% down payment at 6.75%, which is around current average rates. You'd be looking at a monthly principal and interest payment of $45.40. If rates were instead 5.75%, your monthly payment would drop by a bit over $450 per month. A meaningful difference, no doubt, but consider if you had waited from 2022 until 2023 in the hopes of a 1% drop like this, and you intended to join the Landings Golf and Athletic Club, which is such a central reason for many new home buyers to purchase here. The initiation fee increase ate up nearly 2 full years of that potential interest rate savings that you were looking to. And reading the tea leaves, don't be surprised if the club initiation fee goes up again for 2024. So what about that second article saying that sales prices topped list prices for the first time in a year? First, keep in mind that this is based on national data across metros around the country, so there is significant variation. Also, when you consider the previous article, a seller who has a mortgage below 4% or even 3% is likely to be more of a stickler on price, especially if they're planning to buy something else upon selling. So perhaps it is none too surprising that while the list to sales price ratio can be all over the board here in the landings, shameless plug number 2 for other videos on the channel, overall price trends continue to point higher as the inventory of available homes barely ticks up, if it even does that month to month. So in summary, what's the news you can use from these two articles and the overall state of the local real estate market? I would say that if you're ready to buy and have the budget to do so, it's not worth trying to time the market. If you see something you like that you can afford comfortably, pull the trigger versus waiting for rates or prices to fall. Either or both could happen, but the impact of the former isn't likely to be all that considerable if it occurs, and you can always refinance if these rate predictions are so far off the mark. And if prices haven't come down dramatically already, what are the factors that you are thinking that are out there that could cause them to do so? As always, it'd be my pleasure to talk about those particular hypotheticals, those particular potentialities at your convenience, one-to-one, and discuss your particular real estate journey and wish list. So please don't hesitate to contact me anytime. Until then, and until the next episode, thanks again for subscribing, sharing, and liking.